Okay. So good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the UI UX course. So today is our class 2, day number 2 out of 30. So that is second class out of 12 and second class out of 30 as in within this month. So this journey is for a month. So that's why I mean it that way. So I hope all of you are doing well. And thank you for joining. So yesterday we saw the intro of UI UX. What is UI UX, the importance of it, and the difference between UI and UX, and why it is important to know the difference. And we also saw about the different types of job names, that is the career path names even within the UI UX. And yes, that is a small intro that we saw about the whole UI and UX designing. So from today onwards, we will be starting our theoretical classes. And we'll also have a practical classes. So like mentioned yesterday, I hope you have installed Figma on your system. If you have not installed Figma, for today it's fine, I guess. You can just open your Chrome browser and you can use it through your browser also. So yeah, I hope you have your system with you. Even if you want to view me or view this whole PPT on your mobile phone, that would be great, because if I'm starting my practical classes, then you would have to work along with me. Only then you will actually know, or you will get that little bit of experience of the tool, right? So that is how it's going to be. So if you want to join in, if you have two systems, great. If you want to join in your phone, that is also fine. I've not given much of words in my PPT, so that would be clear on your phone also. Yes, so I'll just begin my class. I'll share my screen now. Okay, so I hope you're able to see my screen. So from today onwards, like I already mentioned yesterday, we would be sprinting. That is, we would be seeing a lot of topics that are needed, especially for your job, especially for your interviews and all, right? So we will be covering that, and we'll also like cover the basics, the fundamentals, because most of us are not actually from the design background. If we are from the design background, I think UI UX is something that wouldn't have been much of a struggle for us initially. But as we are not from the design background, it is important for us to know the terms, the things that are overlooked in it. Okay, so welcome to class 2. We are still in week 1, that is understanding the foundations. Today in our class 2, we'll see the basic design principles. So this class will contain both UI and UX, right? It's not just UI alone. So design, when you talk about design, you cannot talk only about the UI or only about how beautiful something looks when you are talking about UI UX. That is just impossible. So that is why whatever we are going to see, whatever topic we are going to see today, we'll also like see the UX part of it also. I'll explain it as we go on, right? Both the things are interrelated, correlated. Okay, so we'll see both theory and practicals today. So this is our content for today. That is, we'll see 3 main topics and we'll have our practical time. The very first topic would be visual hierarchy. The second topic would be typography essentials. The third topic would be color theory and its applications. So the reason why why the special reason why I've given these terms, these names, are these are actually the theoretical terms used in design. So when you appear for interview, they'll just ask you, talk about visual hierarchy. Trust me, you would already know what is a visual hierarchy. If you're a person who's working on UI UX for like 1 to 2 months, you would have actually come across all of that, but you would not know the technical term for it. So that is why it's important. So always remember, when you start design, the basics of the basics is visual hierarchy. Okay, typography, you know what is typography, that is the font and all of that. We know what it is, but suddenly if somebody asks like what are the essential typography that we need to have in UI UX, we would not be able to answer it. So that is why we have that content here also. And of course, we'll see about color theory. This is where the major part of UI will come in, but the UX also will also have some of the hint of UX into it as well. Okay. So the very first topic we'll see visual hierarchy. So what is visual hierarchy? Okay, first of all, what is a hierarchy? Hierarchy as in, so let's say there is an employee, okay? There is an employee who's working in a company. The employee will have a manager who's above the employee, right? And above these two, even above the manager, will have CEO. Now this is what we call as hierarchy, right? That is something you have to give importance to. So the most important person here is actually CEO. Second most important is manager. Third most important is employee. So this is how you'll talk about your visuals in the UI UX. So now what is visual hierarchy? Visual hierarchy is the principle of arranging elements to show their order of importance. The example that I told you right now, just replace the employers with colors or the text, and then you will get the answer. So you are arranging the elements to show their order of importance. What do you want to show to the user? What is that the user want to see first? That importance. We'll see more about it, but I hope you got the point. So this can be done by laying out elements logically and strategically. Designers influence users' perception and guide them to decide actions. Now this, again, this might all look very wordy to you, very complicated to you. You don't have to complicate it as such, okay? We'll see the visual examples after this and you will be able to get it immediately. But before we do that, let me actually ask you something. We'll get into this in imagination time, okay? So how does a website look like? Like just close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes for a second. Imagine how does a website look like? For example, I think you might have thought about, so yesterday I asked you to see LinkedIn, right? So we'll see LinkedIn. So how will a LinkedIn look like? Just keep it in your mind. Imagine it, right? What is the first thing that you imagine? Like you see a screen, of course, in your mind. What is it that is capturing your attention? What is the first thing that's capturing your attention? Let me know. Let me know. Keep that visual in your head, and throughout this PPT, you will be able to understand why I'm asking you to do this. Okay, fine. I'll show you one picture. Okay, I'll show you one picture. This is it. This is actually a very old picture of Forbes. So Forbes, I think most of you would have heard it. So the most famous thing is Forbes 30 under 30, 40 under 40, right? So that is how we would have known about Forbes. So this is also like it's almost like India news. It's almost like Hindu, okay, Hindu papers. So that is what Forbes is. So look at this website. This was Forbes website. Where is your attention going? The very first thing is, of course, the name of the Forbes itself. Afterwards, where is your attention going? After Forbes. Can I guess? Can I guess? It's going here, right? It's here. After here, it's actually going to this place. And then you might even notice this part, this search part. Right, this search part. If you notice the search part, you will also notice this one. Only if you notice this, you will notice this, right? You wouldn't have noticed all of these words. You wouldn't have noticed. You wouldn't have thought about reading this also, right? Maybe this man would have captured your attention. You wouldn't have gone to this part at all. If I'm not mentioning it, you wouldn't have gone to this part. So what is happening here? What is the main thing that you want to show your users? First of all, this is a very bad UI UX, okay? Very bad UI UX. And that is why I've kept it here. So the very first thing that takes your attention is actually the Forbes itself, which is okay. But if you want something else, if you want some, for example, if you're a website and you want the people to know what your website is all about, that should be the very first attention, right? But here, please look at this. After Forbes, you're going to this particular sentence. So this belongs to this man, that is this particular news. But we also have another news here. We also have another news, and we don't have any title for it. So right after this, there is no title. So we assume that it's actually the same picture. We assume that it's actually the same news, which is not so. And again, look, we have sponsored by something like, I don't know why it is there. I don't know why they have kept it there, because it's already showing here. So why do we have it over here? So these are the problems that you will be facing in a visual hierarchy. Let me show you how a good clean design with visual hierarchy will look like. Now look at this. This is the old design of Figma itself. Now you would have seen the new one. I didn't take it because even I personally didn't like it. This was old. This, I think, the Figma at this point, only it got sort of like popular, famous, and all of that. Now look at this. Look at this. Where is your first attention going? The very first attention. Here, nothing great is made alone, right? This part. Or you might have started with this, right? You might have started with this. You might have come here and then to this part, the second one, and then to the button, right? So this is how your attention would have gone like. This is how. So then see, now do you get it? Now this nothing great is made alone. This is what you want the users to see first. This is the hook line, right? This is the hook line. So you have made the font bigger. You have given a different font. In fact, you have bolded it. So this is the visual hierarchy. The second most important is this. Figma connects everyone in the design process so teams can deliver better products faster. So that is the second thing that they want you to learn. And then the button, and then they'll ask you to sign up for it. Now this is how visual hierarchy will be. Now look at this picture. Okay, let's take it as a task. Okay, what is the first thing you're reading? Of course, they are mentioning here. The very first thing you read is, you will read this first. Am I right? You read this first, I suppose. And then you will read this. And then you will read this. What is the next thing you will read? This one, right? This is the next thing you read. And what about the last one? This is the final one that you read, right? It is interesting. Do you see how it works? Do you see how it caught your attention? This caught your attention immediately. Afterwards, you could have gone up. You could have gone to this line because it is in the first, right? It is the first line. You could have gone there, but you didn't. Instead, you came down here and then only here. See how it works, right? Now I'll show you one more picture, a similar one. I will stay quiet for like 10 seconds. You read it through and let me know, okay? Is it interesting? Is it interesting? Look, just like they've mentioned, first you would have read this you would have read the U, right? And then you will read this first, okay? And then you would have read this line, and then you will read this next line, and then you immediately came over here. What about this paragraph? I mean, this is in the left side. This is the first thing you should have read, but no, you didn't go to this paragraph. After this line, you directly came to this particular line, and then maybe you just saw what this paragraph. I don't think you would have read it. Maybe you sort of like at some point you come back to read this line, or maybe not. You, because your eyes is already fixed here. Maybe you might have not gone here, especially it's in italics. Notice it is in italics. This line, that is this size, and this size is also same. It's the same size. The only thing is it is in italic. So your brain is not going there. So the understanding of this whole part is necessary. And why is that you read you first? Why didn't you read will? Right? Because it is contrast. This word, the color of this word is different to all other things, and that is contrasting. Afterwards, you came here. Why did you read this line first? Because you ended the line here, and the next thing that caught your attention is actually this, and it's purely because it is in bold and it is also in the same color. So your brain sort of got used to it, and then that's the reason why you read it. And then you might have gone here, you might have not read it because like Again, like it's very small, the spacing is very tight. You will get headache reading it, right? So that is why, see, this is how visual hierarchy will work. All right. And there are some principles for visual hierarchy. These are the principles, 8 principles, I would say. The 8, I have mentioned it others because there are like so many others that are not spoken widely. That is why I've mentioned it there. But the other principles are very, very prominent. It's literally, it's the same everywhere in the universe, right? So size, color, contrast, alignment, repetition, proximity, white space. We'll see each one in depth. The very first thing is size. Now look at this picture, okay? The most interesting thing about this picture is, okay, before that I'll ask you a question. Do you think that the man is bigger than this whale, or is the whale bigger than the man? What do you think is right? Take a guess. What do you think is right? Some of you would think that the whale is bigger. Some of you would think that the man is bigger because of this pictures, right? In this picture, this man looks like he is bigger than this whale. This whale looks like a baby. But here, of course, the whale size is much bigger than the man, right? The truth is, okay, the truth is both the man and the whale are of the same size, but there is a difference in this picture. There is a difference of perspective in this picture. Why? In this particular design, they have enlarged the man and they have put this whale somewhere else. They have shortened this whale. They have like made it smaller. Whereas here, they have just like enlarged this whale. So look, it's the same picture, the same design. They have just enlarged it. They have zoomed this whale and they have zoomed out this man. Now this is why size is very important. Now look at this. This is where we'll come to the UX part. See, if we have to differentiate between two, okay, if I have to differentiate between this man and the whale, this is how I need to do, not like this, okay, not like this. See, look at this part. Now this is the hook line, okay, this is the hook line, and this is the word that I need the users to learn or read later. So I need to capture the attention of the users with my hook line only. That is how UI UX or any websites work. So this hook line sort of gives an idea or tells that what the website does, right? So what is this hook line? Tell the story behind your design. Now imagine if this size, okay, the size of this hook line and this line is the same. Which one will capture the attention of the user? Neither. The user will just read it like they are reading a newspaper. So that is why it is important to differentiate between two things. Okay. Now look at this part. You would have first read this only. Start learning from the world's pro instructor. And then you might have not gone to this part. Okay. After reading this, the very next thing is you would have seen this man. You would have seen this picture. Now that is why the size of the pictures or other things also matters here. Okay, just because see, here your attention did not go here because again the size of this person, this illustration is small, but here it is much larger. It is taking 50% of the space, equivalent to this hook line. So that is why it's going there. So that is why it is important to know the size. Now we'll come out to colors. First, look at this one. Look at this one, which goes well together with this background. Obviously, yellow, right? Yellow goes well. The other thing is also fine except blue, but yellow goes well. The same yellow, if you put it behind this particular background, that is gray. Where is this yellow? Like we can't even read it properly. It is here. The best thing that goes behind this particular background is actually red. So it is important. It is important to know the colors also. It is important to know the combinations. Yellow goes well with blue, right? Yellow goes well with blue. If you know IKEA, what is the color of IKEA? Yellow and blue. So the combinations, even if you're using it in a website, it is important to know the combination. So it is important to know the color as well. So now you might ask me, it's because like hierarchy, so this particular yellow part is in the middle, the red part is in the middle. So that is why we feel that way, right? That is, you might ask me, it might be the case. But no, it is not. Look at these two pictures. So these are in the same line, almost. See, it's in the same way. It's also in the same way. In this picture, which is actually much better on your eyes? You might say it could be red. But please look at this red for like 5 seconds and let me know if your eyes are burning or not, right? See, it is too much. Red is too much on the eyes. Now look at yellow behind this screen, or for that matter of fact, orange. Now these are a little bit subtle. These looks better on the eyes. Now if you come to the same yellow part here, you cannot see it. You cannot see it. So the same blue color behind this background looks better, right? It looks better. So that is why colors, to understand it, the combination is also important. Now we'll come to the third part, which is contrast. So contrast, you know what it is. Let's say we have one color and there's also one more which is different in color, which sort of goes well with the background and everything, but still like it captures your attention first. For example, look at this part. This blue was a little bit of a contrast. Look at this one. There is a contrast here also. This one, this picture, the color of this is actually a contrast, right? So that is why the understanding of contrast is quite important. Look, so look at this picture. Like this picture, these are some of the circles. What is the first thing that captures your attention? The very first thing. This blue color, right? This blue color. Now look at this picture. Okay, what is the very first thing that captures your attention? Can I tell you? Can I tell you what it is? This might have captured your attention, right? This might have captured. Why? Now this is a bright orange. Orange sort of goes well with this blue. They have made it that way so that it will contrast well. Now look at this picture, it's the same color, the same orange, but this is not capturing your attention. Let's say you find this in a grocery store, you will walk past it. You won't see this. You won't see this at all. But you would notice it. Something would capture your attention, and that is why it is important to know the color, that is the contrast colors also. Now look at this. This is a graph, okay? The first attention, you will go here and here. The very first will be going here and then to here. So we have the graph much bigger than this. We have 70 also, but still we sort of went to this place after seeing this. Why? Again, because of contrast. Now we'll come to alignment. Now, what is an alignment? So you know what an alignment is. Alignment is nothing but you have something and then you have something exactly below it. For example, now this picture is centered exactly in the middle, right? This is placed exactly in the middle, right below my topic. Now this is alignment. This is alignment. Now imagine if my picture was somewhere here and my topic was somewhere there. Will it look good? So that is what they've given here. See, this circle is somewhere else. This is somewhere else. These are all like all over the place. Now this is not a good design. A great alignment is important for a good design. Now look at this part. So alignment we can talk in many ways, but as we are UI UX designers, I've taken this example. Now look at this and this. It's the same font and everything, but just take 1 second to see both the things and you will find a difference. You will feel like this is much better, right? This is much better. Why? Now look at this way. So this code starts with these two symbols, and just below these two symbols we'll start the word also. Now this does not capture the attention. This does not feel like somebody is saying something. It doesn't feel that way. Now come to this part, Lian. So we are talking about Lian. So Lian, who's Lian? We'll not know. Design education lead. This again, our brain will sort of refuse to read that because like we don't know who Lian is, right? But if you look at this design, this particular design, Lian, okay, Lian. So come to the next line, design education lead. That is the designation of Lian, and it is also in italic. So there is a differentiation between the name and the designation. Here there was no differentiation. It's the same font, same color, and same font size also. So there is no differentiation, but here we do. So that is why both alignment and the text and all of that is important. Okay. Now look at this. It's the same example that I gave you. So we have our icon here. Right below the icon, we are starting the paragraph, which doesn't look good. But if you see this one, now this sort of makes it look much better, right? So we have a heading, we have an icon. First we'll have the heading, and then we'll have the paragraph explaining the heading. Now this is important. Okay, again the same thing, you cannot have something over here and then something over here. Either it should be in the straight line or it should be one below the other. Most of the websites today, they do not have these kind of things. It will be in the scrolling manner. It will just scroll on its own automatically. So now we'll come to repetition. Repetition is, what is repetition in English? It's repeating something, right? So let's say in a website, okay, we'll come to this example. Let's say in a website you see this sign up, okay, the sign up button. And then what happens? Throughout this website, you sort of expect the same thing. I scroll down a little bit and I still see the same sign up button. Yes, it looks the same. I scroll down a little bit more into the website and I see this. I see this kind of a design. Now, as a human, as an user, what will I think? What will I feel? This looks like a different sign up. I might even think that it does not belong to the same thing, right? So and that is why repetition, the knowledge of repetition is important. Now come to this way. So this, just look at, first let's look at this. There is this primary button which says allow or something like that. Let's say that the secondary button says deny, and then link to something or repeat something like that. Okay, now does this look good? Like, I know primary, but my attention is not immediately going to the secondary. Like I'm confused with I'm confused with green, I'm confused with orange, I'm confused with purple. This is not good. This is not a good repetition. Now come to this part. Yes, blue color. Now this is much more clearer. There is a repetition of the color itself, even with the text link, because it is not capturing my attention. As a user, I want to click this first, right? Even as the product, I want my users to click this. So majority of my attention should go here. It should not come to text link. If you see this, maybe the first attention will go to the primary button. The second attention would actually go to the text link, which is not good. And now we'll come to proximity. So now what is a proximity? Proximity is nothing but, for example, let's say there is a classroom, right? And there will be one set of, like two set of rows where the boys will take place and two set of other rows where girls will take place. Now this is a proximity where you are actually grouping something together which are similar. That is, the space between them would be the similar, the number of people and all of that would be similar. Now look at this one. So you might think that these are three different circles, right? But no, they are actually the same circle. If I tell you that they are same circle, you would not believe it. Even if it is the same box, you would not believe that it is in the it is the same circles. But if you come to this part, now you would say, yeah, they are the same. They are like siblings. Yes, they are together. So this is why proximity is important. Now see, in UI UX, a proximity will also look like this. Yes, you might ask, like, all of this looks the same. Yes, but mind it, I also mentioned about spacing, right? I also mentioned about spacing. Now look at this. Look at this part. You would be confused, absolutely confused, if you have to look at the product name or the buttons, buy now buttons, or you would be confused if you want to go to the next product or something like that. But if you look at this one, you have that space, you have that breathing space. You see, okay, there's a product number 1. If I want, I can buy it or I can add to the basket. Or then after viewing this, I can go to the next one and next part. There is equal amount of space given to each one, and this might also look like a group, different set of groups. This is one group, this is one group, this is one. Whereas here, all of this seems like one big group, and that is why we call it proximity. The third, that is almost the final part, is actually the white space. So what is a white space? See, first look at this diagram. Okay, look at this diagram. We have so many bubbles behind, like that is good. It is a good UI design. It looks great, right? But does it look actually good? Like, do you get that space to read it? Is this clear? Is this like the name mentioned? Is the clarity of this is good? No, it is not. Now look at this part. We have 3 different colors representing the same blue, the same colors over here. And then we have the text line, clarity. That is the first thing we would read. and look at all this space. So where is our first attention going to? Here our first attention went to this very big circle, right? But here our first attention is going to the clarity. So this is why white space is important. Look at this. This also belongs to this white space. Both of these are sort of similar, right? Now first look at this one. You have got mail, and then there's something else, it's a very bad user experience, and we have all this white space for nothing. So when I say white space, the students will immediately declare that they have to leave the white space just like this. That is why I've given this picture over here. It is not so. You have to give equal white space to the each element also. That also matters, okay? And you still got enough white space, so you don't have to worry about it. Now look at this design. This is a very beautiful design that I saw. The very first thing that you will be seeing is actually build your brand, sell more stuff, right? The very first thing. The very second, you might notice sign up free. You might also sign up free here. You'll also notice it over here. And then this part, and then the designs and everything. If you notice, we have design, we have all of the things that we need to say. Even this is not simple, this is wordy. Even then, we have a lot of space in the screen. Now this is how you would actually have to figure out how to have more white space, so that the users will have more number of space to read or look at other things of your design. So these are the other things. I'll quickly just say what is what. These, I don't think the interviewers will ask you about these. You can just have it for your own knowledge, okay? The very first thing is continuation. So if you see in UI UX designing, you might see like home, services, contact in the top right corner, right? So if you have something like this, it is a very bad user experience and also UI, because see, from home it is very difficult for us to go to the next page, and it's very difficult for us to go to the next button also. It doesn't work like that, because there is a gap between these two, and this is overpowering. So if it is together, look how smoothly you can read it. And that is why continuation is important. And then periodicity. So what is periodicity? Let's say you have I don't know, some task to do task, okay? So if you are developing a to-do list, you might have to differentiate between yesterday's to do and today's to do, right? That is also one of the part of UI, right? Let's say these are the things that I did yesterday, these are the things I did today. I would be so confused, because like if I continue doing this for a month, I would not know when I did what. That is why this is important. See, if I say like this is yesterday, this is today, that would be much more clear. So this periodicity is important. Now come to similarity. See, you might have noticed this in manywhere. I'll still tell you. This is edit, this is remove. Simple, sweet. But like what you actually have to notice, see, if we are users, we have high chance of removing or deleting something accidentally. That happens a lot, right? In that case, that becomes a bad user experience, even if the company didn't do anything about it. It is us who deleted it. So what shall we do? What is the first thing that the users need to look at, right? That is why we have to bring the similarity. First, you look at the buttons. So first thing is edit, the second thing is remove. Your first attention will come to edit and not the remove button, okay? And here again, the product name, description and features. So the very first thing that is important is actually the product name, not the description and feature, right? If these two are similar, and again, that is also a very bad UX. So that is why this, you have to understand this also. And then symmetry. Let's say you are, for some reason, you are dividing your web page into two parts. If you're gonna put your logo in between, make sure these are symmetric, okay? These are symmetric. If it is not, it's just gonna look bad, and you can see it over here also. And now we'll come to the typography essentials. Typography, you would know it already. It is like we will be like just revising it so that you can remember throughout. So what is typography? Typography is knowing to which you have to give more attention to which you have to give less attention, to which the font should be bigger, the font should be different, and things like that. Now look at this. There is title and subheading and then the paragraph. Is this the way we have to bring in the typography hierarchy? Not at all. Like, look, the title should be bigger, like here, and the subheading should be a little bit smaller than the title, but it should still be a bold. And then we should have our paragraph. So this is how it will work. Okay. So under typography, we have two different parts, that is typeface. So Times New Roman, Arial, all of that is called as typeface. Okay, it is not called as font, it is called as typeface. Font is nothing but, let's say we are, there is this typeface called Roboto. So if the Roboto, if we want it to be bold, if we want it to be regular, medium, thin, that is what we call as font. This is in Figma. Okay, this is in Figma. So that will be font. So typeface and font, this will be asked in interviews also. Okay, so you should know it. And then there are three different things. Okay, I would say four different types of font that is much more used with all other fonts. So if you even look at Roboto or any other font, it will have this, because this is the OG. So this is called as serif typeface. So serif, if it is serif, so you should just know that there will be lines like this. Okay, there will be some finishing to it, finishing lines to it. If there is a finishing line for any typeface, it will be called as serif typeface. Now sans, so it is just the opposite, or I wouldn't say opposite, but yes, it is almost like that when compared to serif. So in serif you will have this extensions, whereas delete this extensions and you will have sans. Okay, this is sans typeface. We'll also have one more thing, that is monospace. So if you look at sans, right, this breadth of this is much bigger, or breadth of this is much smaller when compared to B or this part. When you look at monospace, all the breadth, that is everything, will look the same. The width of each font is the same. This is the type of font we'll use in programming. Okay. And of course we'll have handwritten typeface. There are so many handwritten typeface. So this is Savoy Let, but we have other things also. And now we'll come to the text size. So this we'll see it in Figma. We'll see where the text size will be. It will somewhere be here. I've mentioned it here because if we go there, it will be much more clearer for you. Just keep your Figma open and ready, and we will go there in like 5 minutes. So where do you actually see your size of the text? Here. So what is this? This is the typeface. This is the font. This is where you will see the size of the font. Okay. And then yes, this is the typeface, right? This is the typeface, or we'll also call as font weight. So what is the weight of the font? Is it thin? Is it bold? Is it regular? Medium? We will also call it that way in Figma. So that is font weight. Okay. So this is how the font weight will look like. The regular will look like this. Bold will look like this. And then these two are important. Look at these two. Now this is nothing but this is the letter spacing. That is the space between each letter. Space between each letter. So if you see this, A will be in between of these two. Okay, in between of these two. So the space between the letters is what we'll have on the right end. On the left end here, this will be the size between, or the space between each line. Okay, line, height of the line. So that you should not be confused. And this is the alignment. We also have alignment in Figma. We'll have left alignment, right alignment, and middle. That is there. So now we'll come to the last topic, that is color theory and its application. So color theory, why is it important to know color theory? Now, okay, I'll tell you one thing. Now think about pink. Okay, think about the color pink. What is the very first thing that comes to your mind? Girls, right? Femininity, girls, the very first thing. Now think about red. Think about red. Maybe the first thing that comes to your mind, or even at least my mind, is Zomato. But apart from that, it would be about something very danger, right? Red. Okay. Think about blue. Blue. It's warm. Okay, it's fine. It's like Facebook. Fine. Think about green. Nature type of vibe, like health and all of that. Think about orange. Orange, Swiggy, yes, it is there. The other oranges like optimism, youth, and all of that. Think about yellow. Yellow, sunshine, happiness. Yellow. So just imagine or understand that each color has its own emotion. Each color has its own story to tell. Okay, its own story to tell. So when you're choosing a color for your brand, you should be very careful. If you're choosing red, just know that you're taking a very big risk, because if you see, majority of the brand will actually choose the or color blue. Okay, they will choose blue. Why? Because it shows trust, it shows power, confidence, loyalty, success, security, purpose. So blue kind of makes users feel that way. The red is just sort of the opposite, right? Sort of the opposite. So yeah, so it's sort of like you should understand. So if you're choosing pink, I doubt if some men will be comfortable using it, because it's in pink. It shows femininity. It does not show any masculine part of it. So there might be like a, I would say, the loss of one set of demography. So that is why it's important to know color theory. See, look at this part. A majority of the companies will choose blue or green, and they might even choose red or orange, red violet. So these are the number of or the amount of the percentage of the websites, a percentage of the products have chosen the color as. And now come to this way. Now this might look very familiar to you. These are the brands, different brands. If you notice it, you will be like so surprised, because look, everything has come under these colors. Most of it has come under these colors. There are so many blue, there are so many green, which have the hint of blue, and then we have yellow, we have orange, red, and purple, right? So purple, of course, Cadbury, Dairy Milk. Red, Coca-Cola. Orange will have Fanta. Yellow will have like it's very difficult, but I think the first thing that comes to my mind is Snapchat. Green will have Starbucks. Blue we have like LinkedIn, Facebook, and all of that. So notice how the companies have chosen their color. That is why it's important. Okay, so now it's practical time. Please open your Figma application. The reason why I spent majority of my time today on theoretical part is because before moving there, we first need to learn this. After this class, I think from next week onwards, we would spend more time on Figma. Okay, please open your Figma software. I think it will look something like this. I'll give you like 1 minute. Okay, open this and we'll just see the typography. I'll quickly show you, I'll walk you through the Figma software. That is what's going to happen today. And I'll make you to, I don't know, make a very small website, just very small. Okay, very small website. Okay, I hope you have opened the application. So here you will see this plus design file. Okay, either you can click this or you can click this plus point over here. It is in the tab. It will be the, so this UI might look different on your system, but this is the thing. So I'm choosing this. I hope you can see my cursor. I'm choosing this and I'm choosing a new design file. So I've come to my Figma application. It's a design file. It's a blank space. You do anything, you move your cursor anywhere, nothing happens. So yes, I'll start from the beginning over here. That is from the main menu. So you see this is the Figma icon. This is the main menu. You click this, you will see a lot of things that are quite familiar. If you see file, of course you would expect the save button, new file, open, and all of that. Edit, we have some of the edits over here. This we'll see one by one. That is, we'll see all of this in the thing, but majority of the people do not use this. Okay, this is not used by most of the UI UX designers. View, this is also like not necessary now. Object, not necessary now. We have text, we have arrange, we have a vector. What is vector, what is arrange, we'll see it later in the class. We have plugins. I'll just quickly show you what a plugin is. We have widgets, preferences, libraries, help account. Okay, the basic stuff. Now this, okay, this is nothing but move. So if you want to move something, if you want to move one thing to other, see all of this. This is where your default setting would stay. Now this is a frame. Okay, this is a frame. If you click this frame, let's say you have your phone, okay, or you have the system itself. You see the system's monitor, right? Now this is a frame. This is a frame. This whole thing is a frame. Okay, Now these are some shapes. We have rectangle, line, arrow, etc. Now this is a pen and a pencil. So pencil is, both pen and pencil is actually used to draw, but it's also majorly used to select things. Okay, it's used to select things. We'll see it later. So this is nothing but, T is nothing but text. So if you want to include text, yes, these are resources. So the same plugins that I told you, you can go over here, or you can also find it over here. This is not necessary. This is hand tool. I mean, if you want to move like this way, you can use it. And this is comment. So if you want to add the comment to anything, we'll see again what comment does. First, before going here, okay, you cannot see anything over here right now. First you have to choose this. Okay, choose this, everybody choose this and click frame. Okay, you chose this arrow and you clicked frame. Fine. Come to this part. You have frames of a phone, of a tablet, desktop, presentation, watch, paper, social media, etc., etc. But we want desktop, right? I said I'll make you to do a web, just a small web. So from here I'm choosing MacBook Air. So this is the size or the pixel size of the MacBook Air. Okay, I hope you have chosen something. You can choose anything. You can choose desktop or anything. Just go to the desktop, choose anything that you like. I have chosen this MacBook Air. So now this is our frame. Okay, this is our frame. Now you can see all of this here on the right hand, and you can also see the name of this frame. If I want to change the name of the name of this frame, I can. I'll just type it UI UX class 2. Okay, and the name of this frame will also be changed over here. Okay, fine. Clear up until this point. Okay, so now this we'll see one by one. First, I just want to include a text. Can we all include a text here? Click the text button and you can either draw the line like this, or you can just simply click there and it will happen. Okay, so now I've created a text box. I'll just type that welcome to the course of UI UX, or I would say unlock your potential in UI UX through this course. Okay, just type something. I'm like selecting all of this. Just use your mouse, select all this, or just Control A for Windows user, Command A for Mac users. Now come to this part. I've selected it. Mind it, I've selected it. Come to this part. Does this look familiar? Right? This is the typeface. This is the weight. And what is this? This is the size. I'm going to change the size to 40. Now 40 looks very small to me. I'm going to change the size to 60. Yes, now it looks like a hook line, right? But my hook line should not be regular. My hook line should not be regular. So I'm going to go with semi-bold. Does this look a little bit better? Yes, semi-bold. Okay. And I'm going to, so you can just click this, select it, and you can paste it anywhere. I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, now my hook line is ready. I'm going to click the text again. Now I'm just going to click it like this. Okay, I'm going to type something, blah blah blah. Okay, you type something, blah blah blah. I'm going to select all of this together and I'm going to give as 30. And I don't want it to be semi-bold because again, I want the attention to go to the hook line, right? So if you want to like reduce the size of it, you just see, come to this part and reduce it like this. Okay, still the size of this is quite big, so I'm changing it to 20. Okay, right? And I'm keeping it over here. Fine. So now my hook line is ready. This text is also ready. Now I want to fix a button. How do we do it? How do we fix a button? Now go to the same, go to this particular thing. Get the same space. Go to this shape space. Click this rectangle. Okay, click this rectangle and just draw a rectangle over here. Okay, draw a rectangle over here. And yeah, we can call this as our button, but it doesn't look like our button, right? It looks very boring. There is no text here. So what do we have to do? First, we have to change the color. I want my color to be, what can we say? What can we say to be the color? Blue. Shall we fix blue? So now go to this part. We have selected it. Go to this part. You can see this fill button, right? Fill. Click it and you can select anything from here. Okay, you can select anything from here. I'm going with this blue. Now again, this just looks like a rectangle. It doesn't look beautiful. What shall we do? Click this. Okay, click this. Now come to this part. Okay, don't worry about this X, Y, WH and all. Forget about it. Just come to this way. This one, corner radius. Click it, and I'm going to give my corner radius as 20. Now look how it has changed. It looks beautiful, right? Yes, it looks beautiful. Now I'll just like add a text file on top of this, and yeah, I'll call it a font, sign up. Okay, I'll just, yes, sign up. Again, it looks quite small, doesn't it? So I'll give it as 25. I will give semi bold and take it. The Figma itself will guide you where to fix it. Okay, and fix it in the middle. Okay, fine, looks good. Yes, fine. If you want to place anything over here, you can. For now, for this class, I think this would be enough. If you just want something to be here, yes, we can put it as well, right? Let's try it. Do it with me. Okay, do it with me. I'm just going to like, I've just like clicked my Control V. Okay, and this has come up. Okay, don't worry, it's just Control V. I'll say home. I'm going to reduce the size of this. Okay, I'm reducing the size of it. Yes, so I'll change to medium. This will be home. Control plus V. This will be, I would say, contact. Again, if this is not yeah, so contact, and then I would say about. Look at the spacing, like change it and see, the Figma will guide you. I'll say about, and then again we'll have the sign up button. Usually we'll have some sign up button there, right? So copy paste this. Okay, same Control V and put it over here. Looks very big, right? Now go to this corner and sort of make it smaller. Okay, make it smaller. The font is also very big. Make it smaller. That's too small. I'm sort of, yeah. So make it this way and put it in the middle. Right? Does it look good? Yes, a little bit better. This sort of looks like a home screen, right? Let's say I want some logo over here because it looks very bland. I'm just going to take a polygon and keep it as my logo. I'm going to change the color of it so that it looks like it's a font. Yeah, it's quite bad. I'm fixing with blue only. Okay, I'm fixing with blue, and I'm gonna give some name of the logo. Some logo. I'm gonna give it bold. I hope you're doing it with me. Yes. Yeah. Now does it look like a website? Yeah. I hope you have done it as well. This should look like, yes, it should look like a website. Now if you don't have anything on this end, just go to this alignment, right? Look at this. Align it as a center, make it bigger, put it in the middle. Yes, again the Figma will guide you. Take this, align this, put it in the center, make it as one line or two lines, put it in the middle, choose this, put it in the middle, and again you will have the website. That is, this is what we'll call as landing page of a website. So I hope you have done it. This is our practical session. I hope you're familiar with these things. If you have time after this class, please take your time to go through all of it, to explore these plays. Just explore the things that I taught you. You don't have to explore anything else. These are the basics. So I hope you have done it. With this, we will end our class. So thank you for joining. If you have any doubts, please let me know.